Hello?
What do you think you're doing, Kate? I wanted updates. I wanted results.
Certainly, Mr. Marson. We all do. Down on the ground, we're doing all we can, but there's no new developments.
Kate, I don't think you understand the urgency of this situation. Universal Toys are on my back and digging in. I can't hold them off much longer. You're putting the firm in a very tricky situation.
I am very sorry, but a slight mishap or two has meant that I've had to modify my mission temporarily.
Miss Walker, you're walking on a minefield here. I don't have to underline that this affair is Class A priority numero uno. Hot!
I am only too aware of that, Mr. Marson, and believe me, I am doing all I possibly can. But this mission is really no piece of cake.
You can have all the cake you want and eat it too when you get home. Next time I call you, I want something concrete, something solid. I want results. You understand? Results!
Yes, Mr. Marson. That is so beautiful. Good morning, sir.
Good day to you, ma'am, and welcome to the Hotel Krotsky. I don't expect you've made a reservation, have you? Well, no matter. We've got a few rooms left with a sea view. By far the best on offer.
Well, actually I wasn't counting on staying in Aralbad.
I see. It's like that then. So, what can I do for you?
Let me introduce myself. I'm Kate Walker. I'm a lawyer sent by a major American law firm to take care of a delicate inheritance case.
Ah, very pleased to meet you, Miss Walker. Felix Smetana at your service. I'm the receptionist of this establishment. between you and me and the brick wall. I often play the role of general manager here, too. These days the place ain't what it used to be.
This hotel is truly incredible, though. It's kind of sumptuous in an old-fashioned way.
You should see how sumptuous our suites are. For more than a whole century, they have accommodated some of the world's greats. Would you like to take one?
No, it's okay, thank you. I'm not staying. I've got to get away. I'm expected.
Right. Well, in that case, I don't see what I can do for you.
I want to meet someone who lives here.
That's very inconvenient. None of my customers said they were expecting someone. You can't just turn up like that. We've got a very strict policy. In this day and age, the hotel ain't too open to, impromptu visits from any Tom, Dick, or Harry.
Please, I absolutely must speak with her. It's very important.
If it was that important, all you had to do was ring the hotel. People come here to rest, you see, to get away from the world, which ain't turning so good these days. Don't let me keep you. Good day to you, ma'am.
Honestly, if I could have called, I would have called, but I couldn't. So please, can you bend the rules just a little, sir?
Ma'am, in this hotel, we don't bend nothing for no one. With respect.
Sir, I really could use your help.
I'm sorry, ma'am, but my helping hand only serves my hotel guests.
Well, let me just say that by helping me out, you'd also be helping out one of your very own guests.
Ma'am, I'm not to be wound around anyone's little finger. You hear?
Could you tell me if a certain Hans Vorarlberg has ever been here?
On a spa holiday?
Yes, that's it.
I'm sorry, but our hotel register is strictly confidential.
Come on, please. It's not like it's a state secret you're telling me here.
And if I just let you consult our register, what am I going to get out of it?
My eternal gratitude?
That's just what I was expecting. Adieu, as the French say, madame.
Usually I travel on this fantastic mechanical train. Haven't I seen some kind of a station here? Is it possible to arrive here by train, then?
Of course it is. What were you suggesting? If I'm not very much mistaken, that's your air balloon I see getting blown to shreds in the hotel garden.
Oh, yeah, the airship. That's a bit different. I just borrowed that to make the round-trip journey to Aralbad.
Whatever. You better think about getting it off there, and quick. With that contraption on my lawn, some of my clientele might have a relapse.
It's a real shame that there aren't any guests at your hotel.
We had our moment of glory, but now it's all in the past. That's all.
Doesn't it make you sad?
Why should it? Once upon a time I met the greatest of the great. Now I got my memories. Sweet memories.
Well, thanks anyway.
At your service, ma'am.
The door's locked, but I've still got to get in there.
Penalty!
Sir?
You again? You're beginning to really overstep the mark. I warn you, one more and I'm going to... But what the hell's going on over there? Why is it me gets hell to pay when there's already too much work to do?
Darn it! That doesn't work. Just as I thought. Hello there.
Good afternoon, miss.
Are you the hotel barman?
My name is James, miss. James, the automaton nurse. I am not a barman.
I'm sorry. I didn't want to upset you.
If you don't mind, miss, I would appreciate it if you would just be a little more rigorous in the terms you employ in the future.
I'm looking for Madame Romansky. Do you know where she is?
3:30 to 4:30 p.m., Madame Romansky takes her daily constitutional on the pier. Tea is served at 5 o'clock sharp.
Is it possible to go see her?
As you wish, but do pay attention to the salt wind.
Well, I'm going, James. See you later, maybe.
It would be a pleasure to see you again, miss.
Doesn't look like that works. I'm sorry to disturb you.
Yeah, I think I can thrust with my queen through there. Unless...
I can see that I'm disturbing you.
Hey, no, checking two moves. Maybe I'll squeeze him with my bishop instead. Nothing like a good squeeze from a bishop.
Okay, I wouldn't like to disturb you any longer. Madame Romansky? Madame Helena Romansky?
Who are you? What do you want?
I'm sorry to disturb you, ma'am. My name's Kate Walker. I've come on behalf of Frank Malkovich.
Ah, Malkovich, the old son of a gun. Are you one of his relatives?
Not exactly. He's a good friend of my mother's. He told me you might be here in Aralbad. I'm American, a lawyer.
To what do I owe your visit? You have come so far. It must be important.
Indeed it is. I have very delicate and pressing business to attend to. I have just left...
Later, my dear, later. I have a slight headache. This hotel mask will pinch so. I have to go in. Please, could you be so kind as to call my valet?
Your valet? Of course.
You back here again? How dare you show your damn face round here? Get out of here immediately!
Please. I absolutely must find...
Miss Romansky! Oh, yes. I'm sorry. She managed to lie her way in here. Don't matter how vigilant you are, there's always one. But it won't happen again. She'll be out on her ear before you can say, I hope she hasn't upset you too much.
Oh, Felix. Stop being such a grizzly bear. This woman is my guest.
She's your guest? But that ain't possible. This vandal didn't even know you 3 hours ago.
Be quiet, Felix, before you offend someone.
Miss Romansky, please. This maniac turned up earlier and tried to wreck the fountain. If it wasn't for the...
I said enough, Felix. Please treat Miss Walker with the respect befitting one of my friends. Don't touch and don't swear. Have I made myself clear, Mr. Smetana?
Yes, yes, crystal clear, Madame Romansky. Please do accept my humble apologies.
Very good, Felix. You may go now.
Doesn't look like that works. No point weighing myself down. James, what are you waiting for? Don't tell me you didn't hear the bell this time.
The bell did indeed ring, but it is very windy outside, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a bit gusty. But what's that got to do with it?
Madam doesn't understand. She says an automaton doesn't need protection, but my insides don't like the salty wind. I'm afraid to go out, you know.
And if you wore my mask to protect you against the salt, would that help?
Oh, most certainly.
Katie Pooh. So, have you met her yet? This Helena person? What's she like? Does she remember Frank?
Hi, Mom. Yeah, sure. I met her, and yeah, she's living in Aralbad. You can thank Frank for me again.
I'll remember to, honey. So, what's Aralbad like? Maybe Frank can take me there one day.
It's this seaside resort, Ma, but it isn't what it used to be. You'd be real disappointed.
Maybe you're right. So, when are you coming home? Is that mission all over then?
Not really, Ma. I still haven't found the heir I'm looking for to wrap up the case. Helena Romansky's a kind of detour here.
Listen, Munchkin, I get the distinct impression that you're being led up the garden path. Why don't you just come home, tell your boss this heir just doesn't exist, that you've done all you can, et voila. Do you want me to call him for you?
Ma, please, don't get involved. Looking for Hans Varlberg is what I'm being paid for. But I also just want to find him for myself.
Honestly, you're just as stubborn as your father. Don't complain that your mother didn't warn you.
Don't worry, I won't. It's a real honor to meet you, Madame Romansky. People have told me so much about you.
People still talk about me. Oh dear.
Of course. Everyone tells me how wonderful you were. How you were one of the greatest singers of the century.
Ah, so I was, my dear. But surely you didn't come here just to dig up the past.
Like I said, I'm a lawyer, and to tell you the truth, I don't know much about classical music. But after talking to Mr. Borodin and Mr. Malkovich, they really made me want to hear you.
Oh, you are too late, my child. 10 years too late. And how is dear Frank? Do tell me. Oh, I am still angry with him for leaving like that to America. Don't be offended, but I never suspected those cowboys actually have an ear for real music.
I don't think he sings much anymore. The odd gala, the odd charity event. Anyway, he sends his love.
Oh, his love. Do you hear that, James? There is someone who still loves me on the other side of the Atlantic.
Never said they didn't, madam.
What about this other gentleman? What is his name? Borodin? Do I know him?
Yes, you once sang in Komkalsgrad. An incredible recital, if the director's account is anything to go by. If you only knew how moved he still is. He's another one who still adores you.
I must confess that seeing one of my greatest admirers once more would do wonders for me, but... my voice. It is so... I couldn't.
Madame Romansky, please understand I would never have come so far to disturb you if I didn't really need your help.
I understand, my dear, but my health is failing me, as does my voice. Believe me, no one is sadder than I.
Look, please, you absolutely have to come with me to Komkalsgrad. It's the only way I'm going to get my train back and be able to carry on my journey.
Your train?
That's right. I've been traveling on this amazing locomotive with this automaton engineer. He isn't a million light years away from your James.
Do you hear that, James? And automaton? You have a twin brother? How delightful. And I thought I was the only person alive able to put up with such a peculiar butler.
Permit me to express my surprise, madam. Surely the fact that I remain in your service guarantees my uniqueness.
Oscar isn't my butler, though. He has a great independence of thought. Sometimes he does whatever suits him.
Just like you, James. Isn't that funny?
Madam will not be surprised to hear that she is strongly advised not to undertake a journey that, unless I am very much mistaken, will tire her needlessly.
James, only one of us will make that decision, and that person is me. I'm very curious to meet your automaton, my dear. Where is it?
He had to stay with the train in Komkalsgrad. The director used his hands for the final touches on his pianist. It's the same pianist that will accompany you when you sing.
How quaint. Another automaton. And this one can even play along with me? Play for me? Ah, why does my voice abandon me so now?
You must have had a fantastic life. So exhilarating.
Ah, much more than you could ever imagine. I used to sing the finest melodies of the moment in the most fantastic theaters around the world. I have been hailed by kings and courted by princes. Grown men would sink to their knees when they heard the first notes of my recital. My voice could break crystal glass and hearts, many hearts.
I'm not surprised.
Then one day sickness steals away the gift life has given you. My voice started to betray me. I started to get migraines. My health failed. They sent me here to let the spa town weave its healing spell. I was only going to rest for a month, but then the month became a year and the years get longer.
But you look so healthy to me.
Oh, thank you, my dear.
I'll let you get a bit of rest. Thank you for listening to me.
It was a real pleasure, my child. You are a charming young lady, and simply talking to you has warmed my soul.
It's a real honor to meet you, Madame Romansky. People have told me so much about you.
People still talk about me. Oh dear.
Of course. Everyone tells me how wonderful you were. How you were one of the greatest singers of the century.
Ah, so I was, my dear. But surely you didn't come here just to dig up the past.
It's a real honor to meet you, Madame Romansky. People have told me so much about you.
People still talk about me. Oh dear.
Of course. Everyone tells me how wonderful you were. How you were one of the greatest singers of the century.
Ah, so I was, my dear. But surely you didn't come here just to dig up the past.
Strange. I get the impression that Hans Vorarlberg turned up here, too.
You know Hans Vorarlberg?
Not exactly. I'm looking for him to sort out this inheritance case. But I've had to snoop around in his past a bit to get on his trail, and I guess he's kind of a close friend now. You knew him, didn't you?
Oh, yes. I knew Hans Vorarlberg. Do you hear, James? Ah, if you had the chance to meet Hans. My Hans. Oh, my God. What has become of him? Where is he?
As questions go, madam, that one is not without certain complications.
I'm sorry, but I have no idea. That's the goal of my mission, to find Hans Vorarlberg. That's why I have to get back to my train as quickly as possible and to get out of Komkalsgrad.
And you cannot find him without the train?
The train is one of his last inventions. So is Oscar, the automaton engineer. I get the feeling that the two of them are going to lead me to him.
Did you hear that, James? I might see Hans again. I have dreamed so long of meeting my dearest sweetheart again. Oh, if only I could sing. If only I were in Paris, I would ask George for that miracle cocktail. The one that only he knew how to make. Wouldn't I, James?
Yes, madam. As you have frequently said, without that famous cocktail, your French tour would have probably been cancelled.
I don't understand.
An extraordinary tale, my dear. It was December, and it was terribly cold and damp. I had to play the role of Tatiana that evening at the opera. But since the morning, I had lost my voice. It drove me completely mad with worry. I don't know how George, the barman at the Moritz Hotel, heard about my affliction, but he brought me up a cocktail that he had invented. A strange concoction. But it turned out to be a miracle cure. My voice returned to me in an instant.
That's amazing. That's just what we need. We're going to mix you up a cocktail.
Ah, my dear child. It is impossible. George never told me the recipe of the drink. He loved to keep his trade secrets. He said it made him absolutely irreplaceable.
Well, I'm going to get George to tell me. He hasn't yet met with my powers of persuasion. I'll let you get a bit of rest. Thank you for listening to me.
It was a real pleasure, my child. You are a charming young lady, and simply talking to you has warmed my soul.
Hello, Hotel Moritz?
Reception here. Can I help you?
I'd like to talk to Mr. George. He's a barman at your hotel.
I'll connect you with the bar. Just a moment. Hello, hotel bar?
Hi, I'd like to talk to George, please.
George? You mean Mr. George?
Yeah, probably. He must have been a barman at the Moritz in the 50s.
Well, don't want to disappoint you, but Mr. George stopped working here quite a while ago. What was it about?
I've been told that Mr. George had a recipe for a fantastic cocktail, and only he knew the ingredients. I absolutely must know what was in it. It's a matter of life and death.
I'd love to help you, ma'am, but you see, old George, now he knew a lot of cocktails. One hell of a barman and one hell of a reputation. He did write down his recipes before he left, but if you can tell me which one you were looking for exactly?
I don't know. There are a lot of them, you say?
Yeah, the Paris Peking Shuffle, the Deep Green Secret, Boco Poco, Blue Helena, Red Mambo.
Helena! Yeah, that's the one. The Blue Helena.
Right, I'll take a look. Blue Helena, you say? Let's see. 1 measure of vodka, 1 measure of blue curacao, 1 measure of honey, a dash of lime and ice cubes. Shake it all together, and Bob's your uncle.
Perfect. Thank you very much, sir. You have been most helpful to me.
My voice. My God, that is atrocious. Horrific. It was too good to be true. George's Blue Helena is powerless. Ineffective on the voice of an old woman.
But your voice is perfect. Don't be so down on yourself. You just need to warm up a bit, that's all. After all these years, it's to be expected.
No, I am very grateful for all your efforts, but really I cannot go on stage with such a puny, pathetic voice. My performance would be so poor. I would get such bad reviews.
You've just got to get your confidence back. Hasn't she, James?
I must concur, madam. It sounds to me like your voice is fully restored.
James, be quiet. You are a sniveling little creep. My voice. My God, what have I done? My voice has returned. Did you hear that, James? My voice has returned.
Your voice is still as magnificent as ever, madam. But please don't forget, you're no spring chicken these days. Time has taken its toll.
And you're not the toy boy you once were either, James. I hope you have fun on your own.
Madam, leaving you is quite out of the question.
Don't be stupid, James. What would you do there? Your place is here. You must prepare my return.
Madam, I won't insist. Adventure is not an integral part of my action functionalities. Maybe you're right, madam. As ever.
Do I understand correctly that you're going to go with me to Comcalsgrad?
You do, my dear. We're going on tour, my dear. Anchors away.
I'll go back to the airship to prepare my departure. You can join me there when you're ready.
James! Take me to my room. I must prepare. Quick! Quick! What are you waiting for? My fans are waiting for me.
Are you sure you're sure about this, madam?
Shut up, James, and put your foot on it.
Hello?
Hi, it's me, Olivia.
Hey, sweetie, what's new? How was it at the Goldbergs then?
Like, alcoholic.
Is that all? What's up? Cat got your tongue?
Well, tell me what you're up to. How's the case going? How's that Romansky chick? You don't think it's dragging out too long?
I haven't had the time to get bored, I can tell you that, but... Hey, Olivia, what's the matter? You didn't even answer my question. That's so unlike you.
Did I tell you I bought this really cool blue silk top?
Olivia, what are you hiding? Come on out with it. You've got me worried.
Oh, Kate, I'm sorry. I've done something horrible. I can't sleep anymore. I can't eat. I keep wanting to hurl.
Olivia, tell me what's going on.
Dan!
What about Dan? Has something happened to him?
You're gonna hate me for the rest of your life, and you'd be right. In your situation,
What?
After the Goldbergs, Dan took me home. We were a bit, we shouldn't have drunk so much. He came up to mine to have a nightcap, and then... Okay, you're gonna hate me. Please hate me.
I got it.
It's all my fault. I could never tell you that I've had the hots for Dan for ages, because you're my friend and you were engaged and all, but then we got so close lately, and I just lost sight of what's right and what's wrong. Kate, the guilt is killing me. I want to die.
Look, don't bust a gut over it. You and Dan, it's like not real right now. I gotta go, Olivia. I need to process this new bit of data.
Are you like some automaton or something? Kate, please.
I'm hanging up now. I want to be on my own.
Очи черные, очи страстные, очи жгучие и прекраснее. Как ему я вас, как боюсь я вас, знать увидим вас, я в недобрый час. Очи черные, очи страстные, очи жгучие.